Give me 1 second, folks. I'm just updating the getting the Facebook going live.
All right, I'm here.
Oh, you're back? All right, cool. Yeah, I'm just getting Facebook going and then we'll go. You want to go ahead and start talking for our viewers while I do that? Our
What do you
Rumble
mean?
viewers? Just to like start it off, because like I'm still getting the Facebook going, but if you want to just keep it going, keep something going in between until I get Facebook up. Give me one
Oh,
second.
I don't know what you mean.
No, just like talk to our viewers for a minute. We're
Oh.
live right now on Rumble and a couple others, but I just got to get the Facebook going.
Okay.
Just till I get that going.
Well, happy Mother's Day to everybody. Stephen, because you're not a mother, but
No, but I have a mother.
you have a mother, yes. So this week
Speaking
we're
of
gonna
which,
do
happy
something
Mother's
a
Day,
little
Ma.
different, huh?
I was wishing my mom happy Mother's Day. She's
Oh.
watching.
This week we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're not really going to talk about the corruption in the family court. We're going to give, honor to our mothers, tell some stories, have a number for people to call in, tell us about their moms. We hear so many stories of all the negative and stuff that goes on with CPS and the family court and, just all that craziness that, we want to hear something positive. We want to know something good about these moms out here because we know a lot of them are being what would you call it? Persecuted?
Yeah, persecuted.
Persecuted, yeah,
Persecuted.
for absolutely no reason. So, did you tell your mom happy Mother's
I
Day?
did tell her happy
Would
Mother's
you like to
Day.
tell her on
It's-
here?
That's also a happy birthday to her.
Oh yeah, Kyle's birthday is today, so we're
That's
also
my mom's birthday tomorrow.
and
so-
his mom's tomorrow, so
Yeah.
we're celebrating his birthday also today. Kyle got a 1828 Webster's Dictionary.
I did.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I got him for his birthday. He's been wanting a 1828 Webster's Dictionary.
Yeah, so I know the real language of the land.
Right. Was
I
there
did.
a cup?
Right there. Here, I got it.
My mother passed away, I don't know, 5 years ago now, in June.
18.
Yeah, she died of cancer, but she was an awesome mom. We had a lot of good times together. I got some really funny stories with my mom. One of my favorite stories is the time I had gotten tickets to a haunted house, and my mom and I, we like to go to haunted houses. We like to be scared. And we were in this haunted house and we're walking through it and it's dark and the chainsaw guy comes out, and he's all, oh, rubbing up the chainsaw coming after us. And me and my mom were like, oh my God. And so I'm following my mom and my mom like busted out the side wall of this haunted house. And we ended up like in the back part of the haunted house. Like we didn't know where we were. They had to like bring us back into the haunted house so we could
That's super scary.
get out of it, which reminds me of another funny story of me and my daughter. So my daughter and I are at Eckridge Farms, which is a farm across the river in Illinois, where they let you come in and pick. What do you pick? Apples. And you can go apple picking, but they also have like this Halloween stuff that goes on. And we were on this hay ride and the chainsaw guy comes running out and was running to the hayride, the tractor that we were on. I literally, this is so bad, like pushed my kid down and ran, got away from, you take her.
That's too funny.
Like I pushed Delilah down. I'm like, no, not me. I mean, that's how much the chainsaw scares me. I don't know why.
So you sacrificed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Take her.
Pretty much left her behind. I went to the front of the thing because we were like in the back of the tractor, like riding on the back of it. And like, yeah, I knocked her down and stuff. She's like, Mom. I'm like, sorry, kid. Each for our own when it comes to the
Well, yeah,
chainsaw.
if you're both drowning, you got to save yourself first because you can't help her if you drown too.
Well, each to their own when it comes to the chainsaw guy. Like, I don't know, the chainsaw.
The chainsaw guy.
Right. And I know there's no chainsaw, like it's just the sound of it.
Yeah, there's no
like
chain on
I
it.
know in my head that it's fake. It still scares me though,
You know,
so.
that's funny that you should mention that because I was thinking about well, what stories could I tell about my mom, you know, and you started off with a haunted house one. And so let me segue into something very similar. When I was a kid, right, I used to have the downstairs bedroom that was on the first floor of the house, and then you know there was a couple of bedrooms upstairs, like three of them actually, but I was in the downstairs one. And I had a window that was right to the like side portion of our backyard, you know, where our like AC box would be outside, like right next to that. And so one night, I know I'm like just messing around with my electronic keyboard, trying to summon UFOs and shit. So, you know, like I'm like 12, 13 at the time. And it's a pitch black out. It's like late at night, like 10 o'clock at night. And my mom, so we had this werewolf Halloween mask, like full cover Halloween mask that you put on that we've had for years because we were always big into Halloween. So she goes out in the backyard, puts it on, sneaks up by the window, right? And I have
Oh,
no
no.
blinds on my window because I'm trying to watch the skies and shit, you know, while I'm putting the keyboard sounds in, like, you know, like from Close Encounters and shit. Next thing I know, I look up and there's a freaking wolf looking through the window, and I think he must have jumped about 10 feet in the air and 5 feet back. But that's one of my favorite memories.
That's funny. That's
Yeah.
really funny. Do you have a funny story?
God, not really.
I was just thinking about the car on fire story.
Well, yeah, but that was
That was
me.
more your
Yeah,
dad
that was
though.
all me.
But it was more
My
of your
dad
dad
dealt with that.
involved.
Yeah, my dad
Kyle
always
burnt
dealt-
a neighbor's car down when he was a kid or something.
Yeah, I threw a smoke bomb through the window, but you know, I didn't.
Why
Hey,
was
go-
the car?
Go ahead and tell your story real quick. I'm gonna help make. It sounds like my mom's
An
having
85
issues with
Camaro?
the live, so
Yeah.
I'll make sure it's working for her real quick. I'll be right back. Go ahead, just talk. for a
Okay.
bit.
Speaking of dads, one of the funniest things my mom and I did one year was my dad had planted tulips in the backyard, and he would check every morning to see if these tulips were growing and stuff. And so me and my mom, we went out and we bought all these fake tulips. And you know, late at night, we went out there and we stuck them all on the ground, you know, so my dad would think that his tulips grew. Well, the next morning when we woke up, you know, for school and whatnot, he looks out the window. He's like, "Oh," if you know my dad, he's funny. He's got this loud, raspy German voice, and he's like, "Oh, my tulips are growing or whatever." Well, it was raining this particular morning, so me and my mom were watching him, and he goes down the hill in the backyard and out to the tulips, and he's in the rain, bent over, trying to smell these plastic tulips. And me and my mom, we were just we were laughing so hard, like, oh my God, it took him a minute to realize the tulips weren't even real.
He was
Like they went from like nothing to like, you know, a foot tall
he upset?
tulip. No, he was laughing.
You guys got me.
You guys got me. It was funny as heck. Dude, it was really funny. You
That's good.
That's
don't have no
hilarious.
stories of your
That's
mom?
great.
Can't articulate any at this time
Why?
because I can't think of them. I
Oh,
just draw blanks.
draw blanks.
Yeah.
Well, tell the COVID story with Julie.
What's a COVID story? When I had COVID last year,
Yeah.
and I called and she said, "Do you have COVID?" I said, "I don't think so. I just got a sore throat, and you know, I didn't lose my taste of smell or anything like that." And she said, "Well, Judy Downey, my friend, she's got the COVID and she didn't lose her smell either."
Yeah, so Judy Downey's got it. You must have it.
Yeah, you have it too. So yeah, that was it.
You know, because
That's
Judy
true,
Downey
Tom.
has it.
Anything I said in reference, I don't think I have it. Well, Judy Downey said the same thing, but she's
Yeah.
got it.
Your
So-
mom's sweet.
Yeah, that was funny.
My favorite day actually with my mother, the most favorite day I've ever spent with her was the day I had my daughter. You know, she was there with me through it all. Like the day I became a mom was like my best day with her.
I
Like,
bet.
yeah, I couldn't imagine any day without her. Like that would be the worst day to not have my mom.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm just grateful that she was there. She was a worrier. My mom was always worried about everything.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
My mom was a warrior.
like where it would keep her from doing like anything. Like she would get so nervous about
Fear.
things. Yeah, like she wouldn't
Fear
do
thing.
anything. But it was funny because my mom was such a empath and she didn't know it, but she picked up on energies, like really like in tune to energies. And I mean, I could just walk into the room and she'd be like, "Sit down, you make me nervous." The minute I walk into the room, "Just sit down, you're making me nervous," because she could just, I'm high energy, so she could just feel that. The minute I would walk in the room, she'd always tell me to sit down. "Just sit down, you're making me nervous." My mom was pretty cool though. We liked skateboarding when we were kids. So she ended up starting she had a skateboard shop. You know, it was like one of the only ones here in St. Louis at the time. And you know, she did all that, and she had Tony Hawk come to the skateboard shop, and that when they were touring that
No way. You got to meet Tony Hawk?
yeah, what was that first tour they did? I can't think of it. They had a
Was
movie.
it the Bones or something bone or
It might have been that. I don't know, but
Bones tour?
they came to the shop, him and like his skating crew,
That's
and
freaking awesome. What a great
yeah,
memory.
like signed skateboards and stuff. And then we went down. It was at the Fox Theater or something, like one of the little fancy theaters here in St. Louis. And we got to watch it. We got like front row seats at the theater, and yeah, it was pretty cool. My mom did cool things like that. She even owned a pizza parlor for a little bit. That was pretty neat. We got free pizza all the time, you know, like, and it was emo style pizza, but if you're not from St. Louis, you really don't know what that is, but it's like real thin pizza that's cut in squares. I used to take the shells back to Phoenix with me when I lived
I
in
know what kind
Phoenix.
you're talking
And people
about, yeah.
thought I had like big giant tortillas. They were big pizza shells when I would take them back home with me when I would come to
Because they hadn't
visit.
seen the thin crust. like
Yeah,
that.
they didn't know because it's like super thin crust and then they cut it in squares, which is really, really good. I like
is really
Emo's
good.
Pizza. When I was locked up that week when they arrested me on the tampering with the judge charge, that's all Kyle ate
Yes, I
every
did.
night.
2 weeks in 2 weeks.
2 weeks in a row,
Yeah,
every night. I come
every
home
night.
and there's like this stack of pizza boxes because that's all he would eat while I was gone every night ordering Emo's. They must have had you on like ready. you
Yeah,
know?
they did. Yeah, they were getting here in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I would like to play for just to start off. I wanted my mother to see this. I love that video you put together for
Oh, you're
Mother's
welcome.
Day, Angie. I
Thank you.
appreciate that. That was really awesome. So I'm gonna play that for our viewers, and I think that's a great way to start this. So, all right, here we go. This one's for you, Ma. I had Angie put this together for you.
For you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
Well, that was such a
Where were you and your mom that
putting
day?
that. Oh, we were at the airport.
At the
That was
airport.
August 2019 when we were going back east to visit our family on the East Coast.
Oh, cool. My mom was afraid to fly. She never, I mean, she had, but she wouldn't fly. Like, I mean, it
Right.
had to be in like dire straits for her to
No,
get on a plane.
my fiance is afraid to fly. She doesn't like to fly. She gets she does not like to fly at all.
Yeah,
She gets crazy.
I'm not afraid to fly. Like I've never had a problem with it.
I
My
haven't.
daughter is not afraid to fly. She never had a problem with it. First time I flew with her, she was like 6 weeks old. So, but she flew the actual first time she flew by herself. She flew, or actually flew when she was old enough to remember. She flew by herself the very first time, which is kind of cool.
I did
But
that when I was a kid too, when I was like 14.
yeah, well, she would go back and forth to her dad's in
Right.
Phoenix, and so she would have to fly out there for the summers, and she did really good. Like she loved it. She didn't have a problem with it. What did they give the pilot wings? Like when
Yeah,
you're
the
a kid,
wings.
yeah, she got her pilot wings, and I have a picture of her in the cockpit when she met. I guess they go and take them in the front to meet the pilot and whatnot, and show them the cockpit and stuff, which is kind of cool, neat stuff. So she got to see that. That was neat.
Right on, right on. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Yeah, I remember that. When I was a kid, I got like I remember getting that too. Like they gave me that. I was like little when I was littler though. Before I went by myself, like I remember I still had some like mementos from when I was a kid when I was on flight with my mom. And they gave me like a little pilot wings pin and the peanuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember those days?
I never flown when I was a kid because my mom wouldn't fly.
Man, yeah, I remember every time I would fly as a kid, they would always give me stuff like that. Like
Oh
they had
yeah.
stuff for the kids back in those days.
Yeah, I was like 19, I think. Yeah, 19 the first time I flew. Me and
19, God, I was little.
yeah, no, a friend of mine took me to Jamaica. So we flew to Jamaica. So that was my first trip on an airplane, was to Jamaica. So that was kind of
I
cool.
think I was 6.
Right.
Never been out of the country. I'd never flown before. So that was
See, I've
neat.
never been out of the country myself.
You've never been to
Not yet,
Mexico?
anyway. Not yet, anyway. No, not.
You live in Vegas. How have you never been to Mexico? Like it's not really that far from you.
Just haven't. I've been here in my life, but like every other place I've traveled has been around the country, but not overseas yet.
Oh, well, you'll have to go out. Well, I don't know now. Now it's just kind of crazy.
First time.
Right.
People smoking on the planes.
There was smoking on the
Yeah, we
plane.
sat in the back of the plane. I remember my dad sitting back there smoking. I was probably 6, so this was like 1984, 83.
Yeah, can't do that shit. They don't let you do that shit nowadays.
No, I remember my mom smoked, and I remember being able to go into the store and buy her cigarettes when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, I used to go buy my dad cigarettes.
Yeah, no problem. Like no
I
problem.
could buy a whole carton of them.
Yeah, for like
Good
$2.
question.
For like a couple dollars.
Right.
It was cheap.
Shit, those were back in the day.
Right. Yeah. My mom, well, she ended up dying from lung cancer, but she would smoke non-filter, Pall Mall non-filter cigarettes. Like and she smoked them all like since she was a kid, like all her life.
Mm.
Hence the
Yeah.
lung cancer.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
Yeah, we'll do it, huh? But she most people with the lung cancer she had only live like 2 years, and my mom fought it for like 4 or almost 5 years. She fought it. But she was doing some experimental drugs. It was probably the start of them introducing the cures that they already know they have.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because we already know they can cure all these cancers and stuff. So
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
of course they can. There's no money in it though.
Yeah, there's
and
no
they
money
these
in that.
what yeah, there's no money in
That's
it.
the
So
really
probably
sad
what
part is that they're perpetuating this bullshit
right.
for money.
Right. Well, so what they probably were doing was introducing some of the things because maybe it's been long enough that they have to throw us a bone. So they were probably throwing some of the treatment in there that could
Yeah.
save your life, because she did live like longer than most people, by a couple years. So
Yeah.
it wasn't until she decided to stop taking treatment that she went downhill and passed. What, I don't know, maybe 6 months after she stopped taking treatments. But that was too rough because they're mean. That shit's harsh, that radiation.
No, it is. It is. No, totally. And it's unnecessary too. There's way many other methods, but there's no money. Like it's sick. I mean, there's a lot of other methods that could be utilized than just that kind of freaking chemotherapy that's gonna freaking kill your gut and your hair. And
Right,
everything
right.
else,
Yeah. What's your mom's name? I don't think you've ever told me your mom's name.
Susan.
Yeah. So I'm named after my mom. My mom's
Okay.
name is also Angela, but
Oh,
they called her Angel.
okay.
Yeah. And your mom?
Joan.
Joni.
Yeah.
His mom and
Happy
my
Mother's
mom.
Day, Ma. Love you.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
His mom and my mom were like good old South St. Louis kind of girls. They just kind of, South St.
Do you
Louis girls
want
are
to,
some kind of girl.
Do you want to put that picture of the one that you had showed me of your mom and you up on the screen for
Okay.
viewers?
Is that your prom picture?
That was a prom.
Or was it a dance picture?
It was,
Yeah,
it
I like
was,
that picture too.
it was 8th grade.
Oh,
My 8th grade dance when we were graduating 8th grade and going into high school. And I loved my dress.
Mhm.
I loved it. Kyle likes to make fun of it. What do you? What
Well,
do you
he
make
just
fun
likes
of
to
the
give you a
sleeve?
hard time. I do that with my
Yeah, no,
wife.
well, because it really did like, I mean, even though this was like the 90s, it did have like the 80s, like big puffy sleeves.
Yeah, it
was
looks like
awesome.
early 90s, like early like 90,
Yeah.
91, 89
Yeah, well, I was graduated in 97, so yeah, it was,
There you
you
go.
know,
Yeah.
so but I'm not going by our calendar anymore.
Make sure
I'm
you're
on,
sharing your screen though. Can you share your
I
screen?
will. I'm not
Alright.
going by our calendar anymore. I'm going by, what is it? The original calendar, like,
Ethiopian calendar?
yeah, which makes me what, 7 years younger, 8 years younger. I'm going by
Yeah,
that calendar now.
2014 there.
You like
I
that one better,
switched.
huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still in my 30s. I'm switching to the regular, the real
Okay.
calendar, because we're off by so many years.
Unfortunately, if I were to
It's-
try to do that, it wouldn't
What
matter.
is it?
I feel ancient on the inside.
Well, it's only 2014.
Yes, 2014.
It's
there.
2014
So
in
they are-
Ethiopia right now, because they've never switched to the calendar when we switched. So if that
Well,
doesn't
why
tell you
should-
we've been
yeah,
hijacked,
Why should they? Because theirs is right.
well, we've been hijacked.
Theirs has been being used a lot longer than ours.
Yeah. It's cool. So I'm.
So
8 years
is there,
younger.
so we're gonna be having to call
No,
in
I
line in like, well, we're what, like,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
we are about 20 minutes
I see
in,
that.
so we'll do it here in about 10-15 minutes. We'll start doing the call in line for our viewers. So people can call in and wish their mothers a happy birthday or happy Mother's Day. I'm sorry, excuse me. Happy Mother's Day, not happy birthday. And then we got some photos that we're gonna put together for our reels on our Facebook and all that, and play also in a little bit after the show for our outro credits.
I'm trying to find it. It's right here somewhere. Yeah, this is my 8th grade dance. My mom was really involved. She went, I had her come to the restaurant and take pictures of me and my friends. And then I had her come to the dance and take pictures of me and my friends. And she was, she was a good mom like that. You didn't never want for anything.
Go ahead, keep it going when you're showing the picture. I'm gonna step away for a second and have just a quick
Okay.
break, and then we'll start up the thing when I get. Okay.
And my mom was one of those moms that were just laid back. I was the baby. I was the 3rd one born, but my mom was in her 30s when she had me. So by the time I was a teenager, she was just, not over it, but laid back, not so worried about it, not so stressed out. I mean, she worried about me more so than she did the
It should be
boys.
recent, right? On
What?
there?
I'm almost there.
Well-
I'm trying to find it. I have so much stuff in here,
Yeah, but it should
Alrighty, I'll be right back.
be in the recent. You can't put itself.
but
in the
I'm
back.
not in that.
Oh, that's a bummer.
That's a bummer. No. Because God knows where it is there. At least here I know where it is. Computers hate me though.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not that they really hate you. I've talked to the computers.
Oh, you have you?
Yeah.
What?
They told me their problem with you is that you like to click too much.
Oh, I click too much.
Yeah.
That,
But
yeah,
that's it.
that might be a problem.
Other than that, they don't have a real problem with you.
No.
No.
Did your mom ever come up to school or do anything with you, Kai?
I mean, yeah, she came up to school but she wasn't one of those moms that did the field trip. My mom worked full time, so she wasn't like one of those moms that went with you to the.
The
Okay.
school field trips?
No,
Oh,
never.
I went to every one of my daughter's field trips all the way up until, like junior high. I think I went to maybe 1 or 2 in junior high, like trips that they went on. But up until like, yeah, about 8th grade, every single field trip they had, I went on. And then like the class parties, I always participated. I'd always be like, what are the chaperones? And then I would make all this stuff because I would always go overboard with things, you know, so I,
That's nice. That's
so I would always
fun.
go overboard. Like I always went overboard for my daughter's birthday because my birthday's on Christmas. And so it's like, I've never had a birthday party really or anything like that. So when I had my daughter, she's my only child. So her birthday would roll around and I mean, I would go all out.
There it is.
Yeah. And I would make stuff. Like she had this rock and roll birthday party and I made record bowls out of what was it? Records.
Made record bowls out of records.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, no, like actual albums. I like melted them in this oven. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
cool. Okay. Am I sharing screen yet? I think I am. Am I sharing screen?
I just clicked. out
He
of it,
is not
looking for
here.
a
I don't
picture,
know. I can ask him.
looking for a photo. There. Find them back up.
It always does it that way.
Okay, this is what I see. See?
You just see him?
Mhm.
How's that?
That kind of freaking chemotherapy. I got a freaking.
Oh, this is old.
What are you doing?
This is what I see. Oh, this is old.
What are you doing?
Fun.
Okay, so this is,
There it is, the infamous photo.
but where is he?
He's taking a break.
But I don't know. I need him to share. Oh, it is sharing. Okay. Yeah, that's me and my mom. That was my 8th grade dance. I think it's funny that we have like the same haircut.
Yeah, you do. The
Like-
bangs and everything.
Yeah, you know, I went to her hairdresser. That is
Right,
funny.
I am back, and I'm gonna. Can I share my screen real quick? I want to show the little reel my sister put together for my mom too.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Let me bring it up first. One second, you guys. But yeah, it's Mother's Day, and we're celebrating the gift of motherhood today for our viewers, and we're going to have a call-in line here shortly for people to call in and wish their mothers a happy Mother's Day. You can also send your photos to newsforusworld@gmail.com if you'd like to feature them in the reel. We'll do that at the end of the show. And here we go. All right, here we are. Make sure I'm sharing my sound. And this is what my sister put together on her Facebook for my mom.
Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I get
There was that. It was a little bit of short clip, but it's all right. It was only 20
Oh,
seconds.
I thought it like cut off.
No, it was just a 20-second reel from her Facebook. But anyways, we're gonna open up the phone lines here in a minute. Do you want to touch base on anything else before we do that, Dottie?
No, I don't think so.
All right, cool. Let me bring that up so we can do that. Give me 1 second here. Let me bring this up. Hold on. Wait a second, where did I put it? Anyways, sorry, I wanted to try and bring up a video for a loop video for when we do have people call in. I'll get it in a second. Oh, here we go. Alrighty. So we're opening up the phone lines now. I'm gonna share my screen so people can start to calling in if they'd like. And my sound so people can hear it when they do. So viewers are free to call in right now and wish their mothers a happy Mother's Day if they'd like. And I'll be here taking the calls for people that want to call in.
What's the number?
It is 702-518-2469. 702-518-2469 is the number. So why don't we just talk for a bit while we're waiting for people to call in and kind of just talk about our mothers and things we're grateful for and stuff like that. What do you say?
Sure.
Got any more stories about your mom? I know I got quite a few.
I have all kinds of stories. She was fun. Let me hear one about yours.
All right. This was a little embarrassing, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I was about 3 years old, and my mom used to like do a cake. She used to like to decorate cakes as like a hobby, like it was a hobbyist thing she would do. And she had this bag with all this like icing and permanent, like dye and shit for the cakes, for the real professional ones. And I had gotten into it. It was the red dye, and it got it all over myself in the bathroom. And I remember she took a picture, and I had red fingers, red hands, red face, everything. That was a good memory. That was a funny one. I'm a little embarrassed about that one, but I was 3, so. Again, we have people who can call in and wish their mother a happy Mother's Day. 702-518-2469. You have any stories about your mom, Kyle?
I mean, I do, but I can't. Seems like I draw a blank when I'm staring at the screen.
I know. I had having a hard time remembering some good ones too. It's like I couldn't pick which one I wanted.
I mean, I have. Honestly, I can't. I'm just drawing a blank. It's like there's so many I know, but I can't think of any right. It's a second. I'm sitting there trying to think of them.
Right.
And of course, there's stories, but some can't be told.
Right.
Yeah. This is my first time on the podcast, so it's
I see that. The first time I've ever seen what you look like.
nervous.
I don't be.
Being on the screen.
I don't like being on the screen either, but I kind of felt it was necessary when nobody was covering these issues. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll step up and do it.
I imagine it's something you get a little more comfortable with over time, but
it's an art form. It's an art form like anything else.
Right, you'd think I wouldn't be so bad at it, but my sister
it just takes a little bit used to, that's all.
but not me. I'm not on.
It's not for everybody. I mean, I'm not really like I'm pretty camera shy myself. It just takes a little getting used to. That's all. You'll get it though.
Yeah, that's good.
Angie's trying. She's getting real. She's getting rid of her camera shyness.
Right. I remember when she wasn't either. She was the same way, but now she's more comfortable with it.
Well, being on
Being on the screen. Yeah, I'm not used to it. I gotta take.
Hey, Dottie, or Angie, you want to go ahead and put together like the reel that we're gonna do? We got a lot of photos on there. I'm gonna be checking for more here while we.
What do you mean? You want me to do
what I
what?
put together on the camera? I added more stuff to it. You want to work on that and get that ready for the end of the show so we can air that at the end?
Okay.
That would be great. All you have to do is export it,
Okay.
Again, folks, call in, wish your mother happy Mother's Day, 702-518-2469.
Where's Jen tonight?
Let me send her the link. I forgot to do that.
Oh.
gonna send it right now. And we're going to send it in the group chat too, so people can jump on if they want. There we
Did your
go.
mom
Send-
keep everything? My mom liked to keep all kinds of stuff.
She does, yeah. We have a house full of stuff, boxes.
No, I
Of,
mean like things you've given her since you were like a little kid.
oh yeah. She keeps all our schoolwork from for all our grades. Like they're all in a box.
Did you
Like
have a baby?
if it wasn't for that, I would have been screwed with my high school credits because I was like short like 2.5 credits, right? And when I got recently, like the last 5 years, when I tried to get my transcripts to get my see how much I needed to get done, they were trying to say I only had 2.5 credits. But we had all the freaking paperwork from all the years that I was in high school to prove otherwise. So they had to fix that. But they were trying to tell me I only had 2.5 credits. Are you kidding me?
Did
I
you
was
have-
missing that much.
Did your mom do a baby book for you and your sister? Like,
I'm pretty sure she did. We have photo albums and photo albums of everything, you know, all our photos from years and years past.
so my mom, my first brother's baby book is like awesome. Like everything's filled in. It's all fancy, like just awesome. My other brother, his baby book was done too. Mine completely blank, except for like one or two pages, except for when I got a hold of it when I was a little kid and I scribbled in it with a pencil. But other than that, that's the only markings in my baby book.
Right.
Like by the time she got to me, like there's all these pictures of my brothers when they were like babies and little kids. None of me. Like
One.
yeah,
I don't
one.
even know if it's you.
Like so my mom, I said something to my mom about it, and she was like, okay, she must have felt bad because she called her sister and was like, I need some pictures of Angie. And like when she was passing, like getting ready to pass, like I was going through some stuff and I found this envelope and it was these pictures, and it was like pictures of me. It was like one of me like peeping around somebody, like you know, like the corner of me at like a Christmas party, like you know, like then the other one was like way from the distance, but that was me in the crowd or something. She was collecting pictures of me when I was a kid. But it's like all these pictures of like where I'm barely seen.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's too funny. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, so you won't find baby photos of me, like they don't exist. Which is kind of weird. I was the only girl. You'd think that there would have been all kinds of photos of me in like dresses and bows and whatnots, but not the case.
Right.
So
Sorry, I'm sending
are
out.
you, do
I'm
you
trying
want
to
to play
get
this
Jen on
now?
here. I'm trying to get Jen on here.
Do you want to play this now? Let me share
Yeah.
my screen and I'll play
Yeah,
this.
go for it. Go for it.
I think this first photo is starting off with Jen. I think this is Jen.
Make sure you're sharing your sound too.
Okay. I don't know what's going on here. Is there sound on this?
No, not yet. You might have to put some.
Oh. all
Maybe
right,
put that audio that I sent.
I do.
The guitar we had in the promo, maybe put that back there because it's about it should cover it's about 2 minutes and 40 seconds or something like that.
I don't know. You're gonna have to do that if you want that.
All
done.
right, I'll do it. I'll do it real quick.
Oh, this is me and Dee at the Lorde concert. We went and seen Lorde, and I asked her like, what did she remember? What she liked most about the concert? And she said all she could remember was her big red lips because she had like big red lipstick on. This is Delilah and I in my baby dress, the one I took. We had the same dress on.
Where is that video on your Canva?
Is it not playing?
Oh, it is on your end, but I'm trying to find it so I get the right one.
It's where it was.
The one of 17?
You're asking me things I don't know.
Well, it's showing up as like an anime thing from top to bottom. That's what I'm wondering. How'd you get it to play?
What?
as a video.
I can't help you, dude. I don't even know what you're asking me.
Oh, you haven't shared that with me yet. That's why. I'm looking at the other one, the one on the left.
It's no different than any other time.
No. Go back to your projects, to your home.
I am.
All right. Because I was looking at the other one, the one that it's titled FN EPHAN,
Mm,
and I don't
title
have you
means
didn't
nothing to
share
me.
that
I don't
one with
title
me.
anything.
You-
That's part
you-
of the problem.
I can
no,
tell.
no, I don't usually either. But that unnamed design, that one is the one on the
It's gotta
right.
be this first
Oh,
one.
that one. I need you to share access with me so I can add the audio. I don't have access to it.
I don't have one of those big fast computers like you. So
No,
you're
but
gonna have
just
to
share
wait
the
a minute.
access. Share
I'm
the
trying
project
to
with
get
me.
on there to share it to you. That's what I'm saying. I don't have a
Oh.
very fast computer. So
Oh,
you're
no
gonna-
worries. Take your time. Take your time. Just get it, and whenever you get a second, I'll add the audio. It should be in the uploads though, in the under audio section, I think.
Well, it doesn't matter if I can't get in there. I have to get in there first.
Okay. There we go.
We were about the same age
There we
here.
go. Perfect. You should have it now. You should be able to play it with the audio now.
Well, just play it.
Refresh it. Oh, you want me to do it? All right.
Well, your computer is way faster than mine.
Go ahead and stop sharing your screen so I can get it. There we go. Boom, boom. Here we go. Awesome. All right. Wait, how do you make it full screen, Dottie? From here.
Hit the play button up at the top. Next
Okay, got
fire
it.
names.
There's some more in the other one too that we can put together for the reels as well.
I don't know how there became two of them. I have no idea.
I don't know either. There was one where it was like it was top down, like the pages were from top to bottom. I don't even know, but that was the first one that you shared. That's why there was a little bit confused.
I have no idea how there became two of them.
So who is this on the line with us? The 929?
Jaguar's mom that finally got through
Hey.
after attempting
Oh,
the
Hey, I
longest.
thought that was you, Jaguar mom.
Jaguar's mom, that's all we know you as.
Yes, Sean. Yes, Sean C. Butler, Jaguar Butler. Still have no status
No
of
status.
my son.
Wow.
Happy
And
Mother's Day, and thank you for joining us.
yeah, I received calls and I did receive surprisingly flowers and helium balloons. So, definitely it's still hard because I don't know what the condition or existence of my child.
Have you have you filed a paperwork for proof of life?
We attempted to do that, me and other advocates, and there has been no response. They have intercepted. They got my numbers erased. That's why you all see me from different, having the contact from different numbers. The Holbrook Police Department had called me back a deputy, and I don't know what happened. When I called back, the number would just ring. And it kept ringing no matter if I called and some other numbers called. So they intercepted the phone calls, and also to the Boston City Council, Joshua Delport. I've emailed him. And when I called there, the Centrix, which is a code infiltrator type of software, it comes on after I receive my update and to investigate about my son. So I've did so much. It's been very exhausting, and I really just continual support of practically everyone to contact the Black Massachusetts Lawyers Association, where Helen A. Brown Bryant is a secretary through there, which we've already sent through there throughout within this last year several times, but we did it again within the last 24 hours. But definitely everyone to continuously mail off, email, and in person throughout Massachusetts to find out. Sharana Sands Perdomo is not a licensed social worker. She refused to give her ID. She also is using a deceased person that died in 1920 from North Carolina supervisor. When I called the area there at the either was the Columbus or Jackson Square, the Roxbury Station area program manager, I was due to being transferred. I told her I don't want to speak to Sharana. Corruption going. I want to speak to her supervisor. She still got there and gave the information, and this happened many times. Anna, and I told her specifically I want her supervisor. She's not licensed. This should be military police immediately been involved with this case when it first happened, March 24th, 2021. They should immediately got involved with this case.
Wow. And from what I understand, you don't even live in that state.
No, I was very similar to Justine Pelletier. I was been fighting fighting with the housing officers. I had just got my housing back a few days before my child was kidnapped. And so I just needed a few days in between till I go back to Louisiana from where, because my voucher was in it has been trafficking through various states, people playing tricks and taking money and trafficking data. And I had to chase it down because they wasn't replying to the emails. They weren't replying to the phone calls. So I was going in person to their location, and I had to do it for too long of a period, even through the cold, snow, and ice. And what happened was when I went through, I just need a few weeks in the shelter or days because I even missed out on some opportunities because I think they've interrupted my number. But I was referred through the welfare office to go to the hospital to get assistance. And with my child being disabled and deaf and special needs, he's not going to keep still. He has to be in a steady environment because from where he was kidnapped from, that hotel, can I say my child was misbehaving for the 3 days that we was there? They can't say my child was misbehaving or wasn't able to be managed. He has to be in a settled environment. And my child, due to my child, somebody gave false names at Boston Medical Center, Edward, Brandon, and Teddy. Those are false names that he gave. And also a fake supervisor, she was pregnant, named Peggy. They got there and put a report because my child wasn't keeping still in the hospital.
Well, I just want to say about that is, you don't have to like justify yourself or, explain yourself to anybody about your child's behavior. One, like that, to make you feel that way is not even right. Like you shouldn't have to go through that. That is ridiculous. Even if your child with special needs or not, because there is a thing called, we have like rights and certain things that are like just ours, and you can't take away like the right to raise our family as we see fit. Like, just because you were in between, they take these kids on anything they want. It doesn't matter, like if you're doing something wrong or not. That's another reason why people don't have to justify themselves, because almost 9 out of 10 times you're not even doing anything wrong. They're just taking them. Like, I know I didn't do anything wrong. I haven't spoke to my daughter in a year, that just they're
Similar
nothing.
with me. I haven't spoken to my child since July.
That's a long time. I would file a requirement for life with the courts if I were you.
What I need is what is vital. Let me say what is vital. I need someone to tell me exactly where to go and what's the exact statement that got to be written, along with how to file it. Does it got to be filed by certified mail?
I can help you with that.
Well, definitely reach out to me.
Okay, because I
would do certified mail, but yeah, Andrew can definitely help you out with that.
Because I've had to require notice of life for my child. The court never gave it to me until we ended up in court, but we were only in court because he had filed, but nothing I was doing was moving the court. But it goes, it's filed, it's in the record, and that's important. I mean, if something's going to happen later on,
there's severe chaotic corruption that is going on to where I will be on the phone for hours of everything that has occurred, including them. I requested every day, several times a day when this first happened with my child. When I first went after March 29th, when my child was supposed to be returned for April 5th to me, due to very much what Patrick Long got to be disbarred for, that attorney that's involved and rumored with many immigration scandals there through Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Rhode Island. When I went there on 29th to the courthouse, they was letting everybody else in the courthouse, but wouldn't let me in the courthouse. They say due to COVID. So what COVID gonna do separate? It's an airborne illness. So how it gonna be separate for them than for me to go in the courthouse to get the court papers for my document? Why within a few days or even hours, I'm gonna say days, the vehicle that I was in was vandalized. They may have put an airport some type of way on the somewhere around me. I just not aware, and tracked me, and the window ended up busted. And only the things that were taken don't make sense that were taken, and what was left behind is very suspect. Even the police department refused to do a police report in that area. However, they got this whole see something, say something kind of thing. They say, but when you do it, oh, well, it has to be like this here. Oh, it's just a misdemeanor, so it didn't make sense to report it anyway. And this comes directly from the police, their own police that they talk about. So then I was emailing every day to Edward Brook Courthouse there, and they blocked my email. I have the messages. I can definitely send you all the screenshot. They blocked the email of me requesting the court documents. It has been rumored by, I can't even give too much information that I reached to. They have investigated and spoke on my child. Their lives and livelihood have become threatened. I have not been able to speak to them, especially with my numbers getting erased. I called the companies and I said, my number been erased. They said, no, we don't see your number know what I'm telling you. I'm not able to call. People are telling me I have no number. I said I cannot log into the account no type of way at all, no matter how many times I requested. It takes them 3 weeks to do an extra forensics to figure out, but due to they don't want the publicity of mentioning that their that big tech that got more override on them, they don't, you know, it's like, oh well, just set up another. No, that's not you didn't interrupt my livelihood and connecting with my son.
Right. Are you recording everything?
I record as much as I can, and guess what? Most of the devices ended up getting damaged. Sometimes,
I don't
last
know.
conference call I had, the
Well,
conference
you
call
want
I had
to
with
get like a little
Sharana.
hand recorder. They're not that much, you know, they're kind of cheap, maybe, you know, if you can, or try to find one at the Goodwill or something, but you want to get a
That's what I've been looking
hand
for.
recorder.
I've been looking for those.
Yeah.
I've been looking for
How
those.
much mine costs, but I have one. And so when I can't, you know, if I'm not getting it on like the computer or something, like you know, because you can do like, you can record Zoom and stuff. I'll use my hand recorder and I'll upload that into the computer and then I expose it all.
Yeah, I'm looking for additional because I have guess what? I've been accessing so many devices. I have people donated me devices. I have people told me that I will donate you a device. I said, you know what? Someone else has donated me a device. These devices keep getting messed up. I'm looking right now for a device. I had, a matter of fact, the advocate that was on this device, and Sharana Sands Fedoma said on a previous virtual visit call, my child appeared very doped up. It was in June. Of last year. She told me not to record her. So on the next one, she still was recorded, but however, that advocate after that, and I have not been able to see. They sent me a cryptic message saying that if something happened to me, I did not commit suicide, and that was very after that call with Sharana. Sharana is not a licensed social worker. She is falsely.
Trying
This
to
has
use
been
fear tactics on you. A lot
Yep.
of it's just
Yep.
like a mental psychological game with
But
you.
if she's not a social worker, it's no sense of speaking with her. She's even using
Right.
a Russian name named Tyra Kalinsky. Wasn't that a skater named Tyra Kalinsky at one time? They sent the WebEx link.
They're
So
doing
WebEx
this
is
on
sent.
all sorts of fronts as a tactic, really. Even though their use of non-licensed workers and stuff, like they're doing that too. Like, aren't they? Didn't they that whole TRO, Angie, in your case was notarized by a person that's not even licensed to
Well,
notarize?
it was beyond that. It was unlawful. It was not a verified TRO. It was not legal. It wasn't legit.
Right.
It was
But I mean, the fact that they're using unlicensed people to do
fraudulent
things is one of the tactics they're
real
using, right?
What?
One of the tactics they're using though is to use unlicensed workers so they can have shit off the record.
Yeah, she just turned 26 years old. So you know good and well, 26. She just got a tattoo on her arm with her name on it, something like that. She dressed very that's not like, if that's a social worker, I don't even know what to say, because the way that she dressed, the way that she is. The way that she writes it on her social media pages, that's not somebody that spends time in college, and everybody knows. But there is also a college trick mill that is going on also. So anybody can get a degree, and using these degrees here to involve with trafficking and all type of major titles.
Hey, happy Mother's Day, Jen. Welcome.
Hey, thank you.
You want to come on camera for a minute?
Record
Or no?
everything.
No?
Maybe in a little bit.
Okay. You don't have
Happy Mother's Day, Dottie. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody. To all the mothers on here. You too, Return your Jaguars mom.
Yes, Return to Jaguars mom. Happy Mother's Day to you.
Oh, they're doing the best. I'm saying, it's really a horror when you not aware, even if the existence of your child, the condition, the treatment. I call Holbrook School District.
There before. I know exactly what you speak of. That place sucks.
Yeah, and then I called Holbrook School District there in Holbrook, Massachusetts. The nurse got there and told me that she couldn't hear me when I was calling her. That's what she kept saying, and hung up. And the phone sounded clear enough for her to reply back to me on what I was still asking about my child.
Well, we all know that they're trafficking these kids. It's just a matter of collecting all the record, the data, the proof. Getting enough people together, it's not until we're all going to start coming together and be at these court dates when they're, or showing up when people, when people are getting their kids taken. There's got to be like a mob you can call right away where they show up and help you, because it's not until the people come together physically when it's happening and stop it, or that it's not going to stop.
Hey,
First, you have to remove the infiltrators. First, you have to remove those that come with rote intentions. I've dealt with many other nonprofits, such as they spin off Black Lives Matter, called Operation Stop CPS. And that one that was on side the road there, Saisha, and they stole almost every campaign concept because they wasn't, before I with them, they were not getting no children back. And when I came along, they took every concept I had, left my child out of it. That girl that had 2 children taken and everything like that. The hashtag,
they stole your work, basically, right?
Yeah, they stole many stuff, including, if you look at the last thing that's on her timeline, she even named her nonprofit based on I'm saying somebody should ought to hack her account, her IG account, and get that June 24th live that I did with her that she's hiding from everyone. And she kind of set that up for all that to happen. And this also involves Kim Kardashian being an advocate with her, along with Bob Marley daughter, Darnisha Marley, also the girl from Fresh Prince, Tatiana Ali. And that's the reason why Tatiana Ali days and replied what she replied. But all these folks are in cahoots. They have stole campaign concepts from me, and have left my child out of it.
That's
like
not
I said,
right.
that June 24th IG I had with her, she even went and got a nonprofit. So how you go get a nonprofit, your children got taken from you, and you don't know that you go to the pediatrician
Right.
instead of a hospital during a pandemic for if your child lost weight or not. Like you don't go to
Return Jaguar,
that.
do you want to share a good memory of you and your son for today's show for Mother's Day? And then Jen, you want to share a good memory of you and your kids, maybe?
Ow! Okay, I have several memories. My child first, I was thinking about that earlier. When my child first started talking, because he's legally deaf, and when he first, it was very much a hard time. I guess he was having a breakthrough of his ear being able to talk. So he was in a lot of pain, and, I had to take him to the doctor and so forth like that. And one of the first things that he asked for was a cheeseburger.
Oh, that's awesome. He knew exactly what he wanted.
Yeah, that was the first time he spoke about. And me and his Nana went there, and that was when he was determined to get a cheeseburger from Burger
Oh yeah,
King.
he had his eyes set on that burger, huh?
Yeah, it had to be for a long time because this was like when he first started talking. That's all he kept talking about, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, he was like, man, I'm dying for a cheeseburger over here. It's probably been a long time since he'd had one, huh?
Was it a long time, or I had taken a long break from cheeseburgers? I know that I had taken a long break from cheeseburgers. So I was like, oh my goodness, he's talking. And that was.
Oh, you cut out there for a second, Return Jaguar. Go ahead, say that again.
Having conversation. And so that was just so exciting. Like, oh, he's talking about he want a cheeseburger. Along with the time before he was taken for Christmas, we did for my elders and others that have passed through the years, close ones. We did it was late at night, cold. It was around Christmas time, between Christmas and New Year's, and we got there and I did a parade for him. So I was outside the window where we was, and I was flying the balloon. I bought multiple balloons. And I was doing a parade, marching band outside in the cold for him, and he could watch it through the window. And that was just so happy for him.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, those are great memories, aren't they?
Oh, it's great memories and much that they're returned, revived, and reset.
There you go. What about you, Jen? You want to share a memory of you and your kids? A good memory?
Sure. I've got several of them, but one of the several memories that I have are when my kids used to bring the gifts that they made at school home. They made these cute little handprints or something. I have every one of them. And it would always be like waking up on Mother's Day and they'd make me something like a toast or a bowl of cereal with a can, and it was just so sweet. I miss those days. Those are good memories that I had.
Yeah, those are great memories. All those.
Yeah, those are good
homemade
memories.
stuff.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite memories
Yeah,
of
definitely.
my daughter, she was at that age, what, I don't
Oh,
know,
that was my.
when they lose their teeth, what age is that? 7, 8, where they go, they got so many, they're funky looking.
5, 6
Five?
ish for me was
7, 8,
5 to
whatever.
6.
Well, Delilah was at that stage and we're in the truck and she lost another tooth and she looked at me and she's like, "Oh, great, Mom. Now I'm going to look like a Hoosier."
What? Like,
That's
you mean from
I have a
Indiana?
picture of her that day too. Like right after she said it, I took a picture of her with her, like she had like 3 or 4 teeth missing, She's like, "Oh, great. Now I'm going to look like a Hoosier."
Oh, I thought you said Hoosier. That's what they call people here in Indiana. I thought you said
That's
Hoosier.
what she said, a Hoosier. Yeah.
Hoosier, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I started cracking up. Like, what is
Yeah,
my,
that-
she's like 7 or something. Like, what? She had all these teeth missing in the front of her teeth, huh?
I said Hoosier here is different slang.
Oh, is it different here than
Yeah,
there?
it's not the same in Indiana. Indiana, it's different.
Oh, is it different there?
Yeah.
Tell for our viewers what it means for you, for there in Missouri, Angie.
Like a hick? I mean, like, what would you call a Hoosier? Someone that's just
Yeah, just kind of a bum
a
almost.
bum, like,
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, just,
It's a South Side thing.
it's a South Side thing, but how do you explain it?
Well, you just kind of did.
Like somebody that doesn't have a clean house, they don't keep clean, their kids aren't clean,
Right.
they're like, they don't care,
Like
they
a
cuss,
redneck?
they're loud, they're obnoxious, obnoxious, I guess you could say, just a Hoosier. I don't know what you mean by Hoosier in your state. Like, what is
What
it
do they?
there?
What do they call? What is the Hoosier where you're at, Jen?
they just call them, it just says Hoosiers. I'm not quite sure where it came from, but like we say Hoosier,
Like a
Daddy.
bum or somebody who's not well kept.
No,
or,
it says there's like a college. It's a Hoosier or
Oh,
something.
okay, gotcha.
Oh,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
It's like
I don't know. It's just for me. That's okay. I'm not
Not here in
offended.
South St. Louis. It's a little different, right? Just like, somebody that would, I don't know, just
Soda
yeah,
or
like
pop.
a bum.
Like, what do you call? I call it soda.
Soda.
Yeah. Some people say pop.
Mm,
it's more East Coast, I think.
that's East Coast.
I think more than it is here.
Mm,
I believe it is. I don't know. My
yeah.
perception on it.
Well, I'm going to reiterate the story I had on my mom. So you should tell the haunted house one again that you started off with, Angie, for our viewers who just got on.
The one with me and my mom.
Yeah, and then I'll tell the one I was telling everybody after that again because it's a good one. You guys missed it, but we'll tell it again. Go ahead, Angie, and I'll do my.
Oh, I gotten tickets to go to this haunted house. So me and my mom, so I took my mom. We like to be scared. We like to go to haunted house, scary movies, whatnot. And so we're at this haunted house and we're going through, it's dark and stuff. And the chainsaw guy, they always have the chainsaw guy. He comes out from like the wall or something. And he's behind us and he's running after like me and my mom. My mom like goes and breaks a right out this wall. The next thing you know, we're like in the back of this place. Like we don't know where we're at. They like had to get us and bring us back into the thing so we could get out. But she was like, phew, she was gone.
And so like that reminds me of the memory when I was like about 12, 13. And my mom had I was at the time I had like an electronic keyboard, so I was like trying to like summon UFOs and shit, like out of like in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Do, 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 do. And so I'm like really heavy into like fascinated by that subject, but also it's late at night. I'm doing that, like I have my keyboard in front of the window, which is it has a view for to our backyard on the side, like next to our AC vent. Yeah, it's outside, the big box things that are in the ground. And so we had this Halloween mask, this werewolf Halloween mask that we have. We've always been big into Halloween, so we got a bunch of costumes and masks and stuff. My mom goes out in the backyard, unbeknownst to me, and puts on the mask and then sneaks up to my window as I'm like messing on the keyboard. Next thing you know, I look up and she's like, she's staring at me with the mask on. I jumped at least 10 feet high, about 5 feet back, scared the bejesus out of me. And that's one of my favorite memories.
That's funny.
Hey, Jensen, how you doing? Happy Mother's Day.
Hi, thank you.
You want to
Good
share a story about either you and your kids?
Yeah, could you get this where I can, I just told you how to do this. Could you get this where I can get on a better device?
Yeah, I'll send it to you on Messenger.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'll see you in a little bit.
All righty.
Okay, and I'm doing okay. It's just I could be better, but
Oh, I know.
I can't see it.
Yeah. We'll
Enough.
talk to you in a minute. I'm sending you the link right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Jaguar's mom, how old is Jaguar?
Jaguar is upper elementary age 10.
10.
When he's 10 years old.
And with him having special needs, they get more government funding when they have needs, right?
Well, we're
Well,
not
it's about
jurisdiction. We're not jurisdiction or residence. So they're bribing me in order to have a virtual visit with my child to give, and along with what they say going to be court documents, to give them a birth certificate, Medicaid card, and Social Security card of my child, which is definitely ultimately refused to them. So they're getting my child, they're billing on my child by false means, and I've reported it when this first happened to the Department of Health and Hospitals. Matter of fact, I saw Xavier at a meeting in person. He's been left a message on his cell phone number when I was at the Al Sharpton meeting. They have not returned, and that's been a while too.
Wow.
Xavier, that's the what's that lead title for the department?
You're breaking
Named
up.
Jin Young Chun.
You broke up. I'm sorry. I didn't hear the question.
Say it one more time. Return Jaguar.
True, but something like that is her name. She's an assistant top person in the Department of Health and Hospitals, along with Department of Health and Hospitals. All their names was reported that was involved with this fraud billing, including Janet Mendez, about illegally holding my child and having my child and failed to provide documents. I don't know what happened to the case, like I said, but when I was at the meeting with that Al Sharpton had there in Times Square, and Xavier was there, and I got a personal cell phone number, but however, messages were left and still have not received a call.
Yeah, you probably won't.
Well,
they're just gonna tell you
well,
nothing.
you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the numbers. Well, I've already already been sharing everywhere. That's been part of my campaign. I get their numbers. It's going to be shared everywhere. Once they don't contact me back within a certain period of time, I've already been sharing stuff everywhere. So from where I'm aware,
they're not
nobody.
gonna relying on them to do anything is not gonna work. They're gonna, we already know they're gonna play slow play everything and pretend like they didn't ever get nothing. That's some of the tactics they use. That's exactly what you should be doing. Definitely what you're already doing.
Yeah.
It's the only way to hold their feet to the fire.
Yeah, definitely.
I was trying to find that.
We're just waiting for Tamsin to jump back on. Anybody got any more stories they want to tell for
And
the
is
lucky
there,
mothers?
is there any way that any of us could help you with the numbers? Maybe if you,
Oh, definitely.
Share
I've already put, yeah, definitely. Hashtag
Maybe we
Return Jaguar. The YouTube channel Return Jaguar is going to be information right under the video where it has a detailed description. It's going to be emails. Matter of fact, one was just put up tonight.
Would you
get
send the link for that
the-
channel in the Signal chat on the group Signal chat so we can put it up in our description for our viewers?
Yeah, definitely is there. And even though the topic is going to, because it seems as though with me putting about my child, not celebrity people, for some reason I only get the celebrity in certain YouTube things. So the title may say one thing, but when you look at the description and listen to the video, it's going to give full details. So you definitely need a pen and paper, and it's on several of the videos. The first one starting with the horse fire. It has a lot of contact information in that, and every video after that is going to be a mention or update about my child in most of those videos.
Okay, nice. Hey, Tamsin, I see you're back. Do you want to tell us your story? Your good memory with your kids? Oh, maybe start your video again. Turn off your video in the back on and unmute yourself. She's freezing up, I think. Hold on. Oh, she's gonna jump back on. Go ahead, Jaguar. Finish saying what you were saying until she jumps back up. I think she was having issues with
It's
internet.
Return Jaguar. Put it in. And on the videos come up, there's one with the fire horse. They have the recent one with the forest on fire. They have the one with a bunch of balloons on it. That's the channel. When you open up the description, it's going to be information, emails of everything. Emails, Sharana's information. She recently got her a limb tattoo with her name on it. Their emails, everything's going to be listed there. Contacting the Black Massachusetts Lawyers Judges Association with Helen A. Brown Bryant. Her email somehow has been blocked from me. She when I called the house numbers that somebody got a hold of, it was like 20 different numbers. And at first the numbers was going to a regular voicemail. Then after a while, I started saying that it was a physical therapy clinic. After like a day we call.
That's odd. So you want to share that in the group chat that we have on Signal, and then I'll put it up there for our viewers so they can go to it and check it out.
Oh, definitely.
All right, cool. All right, so I see you're back, Tamsin. You want to go ahead and tell us your story?
Okay.
Your
so
memory?
You were asking for a story about.
I was asking for a good memory that you have with your kids, you and your kids.
That's what I
This
thought.
Mother's Day.
Oh. Okay, we need to be about both of them. So I'll go with just I don't really know of any event off the top of my head.
Doesn't
but
have to be
just
anything.
anytime that
Just a
they
good memory that you remember of you.
Just
spending
anytime-
time with
I don't
your
know, just
kids.
anytime that
Anything.
they,
It could be anything. It could be anything.
I'm trying to think of where they were together and with me and something, it was something nice. Well, really, okay, this isn't too bad. When Timogen was born, Nigel and Reggie came to the hospital. Nigel and Reggie came to the hospital. So, I mean, just to see Timogen, of course. And Nigel, although he was young, he hadn't yet become neurologically damaged, and he was fine. And he wasn't exactly excited, but he wasn't angry. I think he just didn't know what was going on. I believe there was some good feelings within him, but he saw his new baby brother, and he was on the floor, maybe he thought that he'd have to share stuff now, but it was sweet, and it was sweet in its own way. And we all got together for a picture, the four of us, And so we were all together. It wasn't bad. So I would say with both the boys, with me, that would be definitely a good memory, I would say.
That's a great memory. That's a great
Yeah.
memory.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
So yeah, you know, there's so many memories. I remember, here's another good one. I remember when, this is a recent one actually, in the last year, right before my mom had her accident, and I had found that documentary, Pandemic Indoctrination, and I was putting together the fact check for it, and I started doing that project, and I got it out there, and I was encouraging her to watch it before she got her, before she went in and try and get her first shot for the vaccine, which is what caused her to get injured. But I remember the day before she went in to get it. No, it was the day before she collapsed is what happened. She saw the video or the documentary and went in and came and knocked on my door and told me, "I am so proud of you for making this possible." And so that was a good memory. That made me feel real good, you know, that because she's seen the work that I was doing. So that's probably the last good memory that I remember before she had her accident, actually, I think. So what do you guys, what do you miss most about being moms, especially since a lot of you guys have had your kids taken? What do you miss most about being a
I
mom?
mainly miss the safety. You know, just knowing that my child was safe. My child loved to draw. He was a very good artist. You can go on the Instagram, just go on the hashtag Return Jaguar. You'll see, you know, a lot of his artwork that I have available. Oh gosh, it just hurt so bad.
I can only
Like I
imagine.
say, a very good artist. He got there one time and he drew, it was this, like, we had cars under my eldest carport. Like, we had cars. So one of the cars, I did not like that vehicle. It was shaped like I don't know, something like the Jetsons, a small gray vehicle. It was like a 1970s like vehicle, and like maybe the early 70s. And it was this color that people don't use no more. What you call it, maroon or something like that? A maroon seat. And he got there at a YMCA summer program, and he drew the painting exactly of the seat from when I was a toddler of that car.
Wow.
That's awesome. What do you miss about being a mom and Angie?
Her bothering me, I guess. Just, you know, like just coming in my room. She used to come in my room all the time and we just sit and talk. And I don't know, she called me all the time just to bother me. Like, just, you know, like, what are you doing? Nothing. And like sit on the phone. I'm at work, you know.
How about, Mom, I'm bored.
Yeah, like I just miss being a mom. I just found this letter. This is, can I share screen?
Yeah, go for it. Let me stop
This
sharing
is,
my-
a letter. I got this the last Mother's Day. Delilah and I were together. So like, this is like the stuff I miss. So not last Mother's Day, but the Mother's Day before. She wrote me this letter. It says, "Dear
Wanna go ahead and
Mom,
read it for our viewers?
What'd you
Oh,
say?
never mind. You were already started reading it. I was going to say, you want to read it for our viewers?
Yeah. Okay. So it says, "Dear Mom, I want you to know that you mean the world to me. I would be so lost without you. You haven't just been my mom, you've been my best friend. My love for you can't be put into words. I'm very lucky to have a mom like you. Thank you for letting me be me and never pushing your beliefs on me."
That's
Pretty
beautiful.
cool letter,
That's beautiful. That's a great letter.
you know, and then now I haven't spoken with her, so that sucks. I didn't get a phone call or anything today, or a card or anything.
Because they
So-
brainwashed the poor girl. That's ridiculous, man. I mean, that letter right there says it all.
Yeah. Yeah. So But, you know, she wants me to get help and doesn't want to talk to me or come home or anything. Well, it's so like, that's what they're doing to these kids. It's so
Yeah,
sad.
it is.
Those are the
Messed
things
up.
I miss. I miss guiding my daughter through life,
Tamsin.
showing her, you
Oh, go
know,
ahead,
how to
Jan-
be
go
a
ahead,
good
Angie, finish your-
woman.
Go ahead, Angie.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna ask you, I know what I noticed during that last overnight with that video you guys posted. Did you notice how he said that might be time to get a lawyer or to buy a lawyer did you hear Timmy didn't say
Yeah.
that? I was
Yeah.
like, what the heck? They are really brainwashing these kids. I mean, it's insane. But it was a video from their last overnight, and it was like, and he literally was parroting what the other people must have been saying, you know, the people that are taking care of him, because it sounded like it was brainwashing to me.
Mhm.
What else would he say anything about a lawyer? Shouldn't know nothing about a lawyer. He's a
Well,
kid.
that's how that last overnight got an objection, because the lawyer came to check on them after our
Uh-huh.
first overnight. And so they said that's her job. I mean, my husband's attorney said that's her job.
Right.
But
Well,
why would you go, all of a sudden, this is now your job, because you had plenty of chances before to talk to
Right.
them. Your client's rights have been violated. Why are you just now talking to them just because they had an overnight?
right.
Yeah, so they
Doesn't
go,
make any
so she
sense.
goes talk to them, and then here's something, and then objects to them, then we have to go have a hearing to get them reinstated. And then there's what you just saw today.
Yep, that's ridiculous. I mean, well, kids should not be thinking or even hearing about anything about do with lawyers. So the fact that he was even saying that just goes to show what kind of care he's in.
Yeah. Yeah, and he actually said to me this weekend, he looked at me and said, "You're not my mother." Now, I don't know if that
What?
was just because maybe he was angry at some point, but he was saying stuff like that. He was also saying other good things. He was saying good things too. So it was a bit off and on. That
Well,
this weekend had
they've got
more.
him confused.
What?
They got him confused because all the shit they put
Yeah.
him through.
Yeah, and it was like that before, but it seems to be getting worse. He also had good moments, don't get me wrong, but so, I mean, because it does seem like a bit of confusion, yes.
Right.
But
I mean,
it's
those are
still
red
scary
flag
to me.
behaviors right there. That should
Yeah,
be
and it's
that
still
should be
scary to me.
signs to anybody that the carries in is not adequate. That needs to be returned home to his parents.
Yes. Oh, but DHS has their process. And this process has given them the chance, as I said before, to do this.
Yeah, this is freaking ridiculous.
It's also unlawful,
Uh,
but they
it
don't
is,
care
it
about
is
the
a
law.
law. What do you miss about being a mom, Jen?
Well, here, probably I'd have to say in the last 10 years, I thought that I was teaching them when I realized that they were the ones teaching me. They were my teachers. They all taught me something different.
That's great. You know, it's funny because like I had the same experience with my nephews, you know, like as I've been kind of like being part of their lives, it just it reminds me of like especially the oldest nephew, Andrew, I'm finding that he's teaching me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like my younger son was disabled, so he taught me how to communicate in other ways than our normal communication, you know, because he couldn't talk or it was questionable whether he could hear or not. So we had to learn how to communicate, whether it was like, you know, putting him on my chest and like making different vibration sounds, which he would, you know, responded to with a higher pitch or sometimes even a lower pitch, just depending on how I was, you know, vibrating the messages to him, which he really liked Michael Jackson's "Beat It" for some reason. I don't know.
You know, when I was a kid, I used to be a huge Michael Jackson fan. And I used to
Yeah,
know all that.
I loved
So I
him.
know exactly what you're talking about. I can relate to
So
that.
and then he would either, you know, and so I was able to learn him. I was able to learn how to communicate with him through, it was either tactile or touch or, you know, or humming or just different vibrations, you know, because that's all he was able to understand. And my youngest daughter told me that I didn't have to be so serious. So I learned how to be a child again.
Okay.
And then my oldest daughter, she wasn't really very, she didn't really tell her feelings. So she taught me how she expressed herself through art. So I'd look through her drawings and I'd know who she was talking to. My oldest son, I'm not quite sure. He was the first one, so he was the hardest. I've learned a lot
Yeah.
of, the things that I've made mistakes with, but I guess he was my first. So I learned what it was like to feel life inside of, and have a child develop and then to be, born. So that's about all I could say.
No, that's
But our
great.
teachers are really our children are our teachers. We're not
They
teaching
are.
them.
They are. They're teaching us. They really are.
I mean, I don't take things for granted.
Yeah,
At
they
all.
definitely help. You to
Because
do that.
because don't ever take anybody for granted, because you could never know when the last day you could see them in the physical realm.
Right. Treat
So
every day like it's your last. Live in the moment.
exactly. And there's one thing that I put together for me and my girls. We made a comic book, but I haven't been able to finish it, so I haven't had them to help me with it.
Oh,
So that's a to be continued. And
Yeah.
we were the Charlie's Angels. that's what we call ourselves.
I bet they love that.
Yeah. So that's what I miss. I miss the word being called mom.
Yeah, mothers are. There wouldn't be. We wouldn't have future generations if it wasn't for mothers. So.
Right.
You have
But
what?
I don't have that many great, wonderful memories of my mom, but I do remember she taught me how to cook, and she taught me the kind of mother that I did not want to be.
Right.
So
I think that's true with a lot of people and their parents. Like they raise their kids how they weren't raised, so to speak, more or less. They do things differently than their parents did.
right, and just it was pretty recently, maybe a couple of years ago or so, I had to let it go because I was starting to become like her. If that makes any
Okay.
sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If you despise something so much, you start to become it, and I had to let it go. So I just completely let it go. She passed away last year, so I didn't get to say goodbye or anything, but she just didn't choose to be part of my life, and she didn't love me like the rest of my siblings. So I kind of already grieved her death, but she was still physically alive. So that was a little bit harder. So it helps me hear good stories about how other people's moms, were good to them. And I wanted to be the good mom and love my children, like my mom didn't love me. And then they were taken from me. So, but that's another story, another day.
Hey, Angie, you want to come back on camera for a minute and just kind of like talk for a bit amongst yourselves? I'm gonna finish putting together a few more photos for the reel, and then and I'll play it for the credits when we're done here.
Well, I didn't hear you.
I say you want to go ahead and just talk, have a little powwow, talk about your mothers and stuff here for a minute, while because I'm going to be I'm going to be putting together that little reel thing. I'm adding a couple more photos to it in between ones of you and your mom to give it a little more variety, and then kind of like just talk about being mothers,
Did you get my?
I want to say
Go ahead.
something I missed is to mention, both my boys, how they were before, even before like 2016 and before this time, because they were sweet and they were showing signs of intelligence and everything. And then the government interfered and they're different, I mean, compared to what they were.
I miss going to my daughter's hockey games. She played floor hockey up until like 8th grade. So that was like, well, that's what we did through the winters. We went to hockey on Saturdays. She always came in, like her team would come in first or second place. She got, you know, a bunch of trophies and like medals and stuff, which is cool. She made the all-star team a few years. That's neat. But it was funny because when she started, she was only in kindergarten. And when they first got out there with their hockey sticks, they just kind of like spun in circles, looking at the ceiling, you know, like just, you know, just do, letting the pucks go by, not really paying attention. And then by the time they're in 8th grade, just the skill level and how much, you know, to watch them go through all that, from learning how to like work the puck and, you know, make goals and, you know, how to pass the puck. And that was pretty cool. She would, because Delilah was, you know, she's taller, her build's bigger, so she was always defense, you know. She in her whole hockey career, she made 1 goal. That's it, just one. And then
Hey,
she was in the
Delilah,
choir. Huh?
she can draw, right? She's an artist as well.
Oh yeah, she likes, yeah, she's got a, like, that was one of her favorite things to do was, you know, pastimes together. Like during COVID, we were using art through it, you know, we were she painted a lot during COVID. That helped get her through it. Oh, I wore her shirt yesterday. I have a shirt of hers that she painted why during COVID. It was pretty cute. I had some campaign t-shirts made, and like most of it was like her artwork. Like one of the things she gave me for Christmas was this painting, and it had all these melted crayons going down the front of it. And at the bottom, it had like a little stick figure with an umbrella. And she wrote on it, don't be afraid to be simple. I mean, she gave me that for Christmas. So, you know, she was just always outside the box kind of thinking. She's just a cool kid. Like, she was never in trouble. Like, you know, I never had a problem with her. She always got up for school. It was never an issue. Wasn't skipping school. Never displayed any signs of ADHD or whatever. They have her on, whatever excuse they're using for the meds that they have her on now. Always in choir. She loved to sing. That was cool. Except for I sucked. I really sucked about going to her choir performances. I was bad. I would show up late. Like I'd drop her off and be like, I'll be back because I'm not ready. And I'd come home and I'd always show up to them late or miss them, or yeah, I was terrible about the choir performances. She'd always yell at me, Mom, you know, because it was just her and I. So, you know, we just had that kind of relationship. There was no sibling that got my attention or anything, you know, and single mom, you know, he left when she was about 6. So, I mean, we just had that kind of relationship. She was at the age where, like, you know, do you remember the age where you hated your mom? I mean, I think
Yeah.
all girls go through that, right?
Yeah.
You know, that like, you don't know why, but you just don't like your mom. Like, when she was at that
Right.
age, we didn't have that problem at all. And the longer we were in court and the more her dad did this stuff in court, the closer we were actually becoming, you know, because we were being attacked, you know, she felt attacked as much as I felt attacked. So our relationship was getting stronger during that period because we were sticking together because we were, you know, we were a team. They were attacking us, like, and she knew it. That's why she stood up for herself that day in court, you know, because she felt that she had a supportive mother, that she could do that because I would be there to support her in that decision. Because
she could express herself and be who she really was, you know. She wasn't embarrassed. You allowed her to be herself.
And she made sense, dude. Like what she was saying wasn't like gibber, you know, like it made sense. I mean, she did a good job. I was really proud of her for standing up for herself like she did and telling the judge, you can't tell me what I experienced wasn't real. I'm the
Yeah,
one that experienced it. Like I thought
absolutely.
brilliant. You know, she did a lot. She did something a lot of adults wouldn't do, and that's
And
stand
you
up to
know,
a judge.
it's pretty ironic, I think, sometimes that, you know, they teach us, oh, tell the truth, tell the truth, tell the truth, tell the truth. And I've taught my kids to tell the truth, but then now we seem to get punished for telling the truth.
Right.
So,
Or if somebody
know,
does something to you, tell
yeah,
somebody. If somebody makes you feel
right,
uncomfortable, say something. And then
yes.
what, to not believe them? I mean, my daughter said all that in open court, you know? And
My
because,
daughter, one of the visits, she said to me, she said, Mom, when I'm 18, I'm leaving this country. And
right,
she's like, wow, okay. She's like, it's just not what it is, what they make it out to be here.
right, yeah. Well, there is just an agenda to take all our kids and, you know, take our land, and we'll have nothing and be happy. Like and part of
There's
that is
definitely that
the family
agenda.
courts, you know,
Right.
they're after our kids. Like
Well,
they're,
I got the little photo reel thing of
I've been
segment
saying
ready
that
to go
beginning.
for our
They-
viewers for when we outro. But if you want, everybody wants to get their last thoughts, we'll wrap it up and then play that. Anybody want to put in some last thoughts or?
Okay, well, well, for the closing of today, I've definitely encouraged that we do a Mother's Day until approximately August, if we can do that continuously, celebrations for whenever we have the shows. And I know I'm overbooked and I'll be having a time. I'm not able to be on every show, along with the hacking of the devices that's going on. But definitely, I'm going to do my best to be more active on the podcast with time allotted and forth
And
like
we
that.
could also schedule some pre-recorded stuff. So when we are able to get you on, we can do some pre-recorded interviews and then air them on one of the lives too as well. That would be easier too.
Yes, and I'm encouraging everyone. Shana Sands Padoma is the recent, I don't know the exact title to give, but one of that's saying that she's a social worker. Everyone you may have someone on your timeline that's in Massachusetts. Share. We can't just be concerned about what's local in our area or our own story. Share of it, and definitely, if I know of what's in your area, I cross-reference it to you. Share about my child, urging for attorneys that, you know, are going to be able to hold their own and that's going to fight for the return of my son immediately without process and procedure.
Sounds great. I think that's a great idea, and we'll definitely have you on for sure. Return to Jaguar in the future, whether that be through pre-recorded interviews or if we can get you on a live event, that would be great. I'm glad we were able to get you today. Angie, any last thoughts? Any last words you want to put up there for our mothers that are out there?
Yes, if the judge ever asks you if you want to trade up your jury trial for a judge trial, just tell them no.
Do you want to play that clip for our viewers right now, just for shits and giggles? You want to do that? Can we do that?
We can play that Colello
All right,
clip.
cool. Give me 1 second here. I'll bring it up.
Just make sure you tell the judge no.
You said, no, I wouldn't like that.
You can waive a jury trial and get a judge trial. That's what he said.
Trial, the judge told me that I could waive my right to the jury trial and let it be tried by judge. I'm in there because I have charges against me for tampering with a judge. Like my best chance is the jury trial. Like, what do you mean? The jury is the one, all I got. That's my only hope is the
All
jury.
right. And we're gonna loop it for a few rounds, you guys, for shits and giggles. So here we go. Let me put the
You can waive a jury trial and have a judge trial.
try that again.
You can waive a jury trial and have a judge trial. You can waive a jury trial. You can waive a jury trial and have a judge trial. You could waive a jury trial and have a judge trial. You could waive a jury trial and have a judge trial. You could waive a jury trial and have a judge trial.
Slow
You
motion.
could waive a jury trial and have a judge trial.
Yeah.
You could waive a jury trial and have a judge trial. You could waive a jury trial and have a judge trial. You could waive a jury trial and have a judge trial.
Who would do that? Who would give up that right?
That was awesome, was it not? We got this shit on record.
Like, why? Like, why? No.
Not a conflict of interest.
How is that not a conflict of interest?
It's a huge conflict of interest, obviously.
Like, what? What he did, I think the man just really thinks I'm stupid. He treats me like I'm an idiot.
He seems to be offended.
Well, he was really mad. Like, I really make him mad because I won't take his counsel. Like, I won't get an attorney. I won't let him hand me attorney. I won't let him put attorney on. Like, I won't let him joiner me to any attorney. You know, I won't do that because,
You'd already be back in jail.
well, I should be back in jail already. And they would never put the judge on the stand. If without a lawyer, I will do for myself what a lawyer wouldn't do, and that is demand that the judge be put on the stand because I have the right to face my accuser. If you
Damn
do
right.
not put the judge on the stand, then you have no case. There's nothing for the court to hear, and you have to drop all charges. And since now that you're going to do that, I'm going to come back with malicious prosecution. So, you know, either put her on the stand and let a jury of my peers decide what I did was harmful or wrong, or drop the charges, which it's been over a year now.
Right, absolutely.
We're way past a fast and speedy trial.
Jen, do you want to put any last words out there? You want to say any last words?
Yeah, and last I knew, child trafficking was a federal law against that.
There is.
Yeah.
There
There is.
And there.
Yep,
Yeah.
there is.
That would be racketeering.
One thing I would like to say, because I kind of felt like I ended that last thing I had to say about my mom on a negative note, but my grandmother was more of an inspiration and
There
a
you
mother
go.
type figure to me that I remember making cookies with her, even though there was some distance. She lived in Canada and I lived in Washington State. So, but I still felt so connected to her, and I'm still connected to that side of the family, my father's side. It was light and dark, you know, the difference between that, and that's who I take after, like my sense of humor and my looks. That's all on my dad's side.
That's
So I was reading her eulogy that my uncle wrote, and it was like me reading it in the future. It still applied. Like I could see myself doing the things that she explained that she did when she was my age.
Mhm.
And she left the last note, but I don't have it handy, but it was something that she lived by. And I think that it's just a good reminder.
Oh, it's great to have those good memories, you know?
Yes.
Let's, shall we wrap it up and play that little thing we put together for, with the photos?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that.
Hit it.
Good night, everybody. Happy Mother's Day.
Night.
Good night. Thank you, Stephen.
Beautiful.
Happy
Night.
Mother's Day.
Good night, you guys. Happy
Good
Mother's Day to
night.
y'all.
Good night. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.